Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends. How are you? How the things are going? My name is Abdul Khalik. My dear friends, sometimes we feel like I need to change my life altogether. I need to revolutionize my life altogether. Some of the time we think like this one, but dear friends, what does happen? We don't know how to do that, how to actually and realistically change our life. We don't know that we are not a trainer, we are not a coach, we might not have enough amount of substance and knowledge, relevant knowledge to change our life, to be able to change our life for good. And fundamentally, we are unaware of the relevant knowledge, the relevant information, the knowledge, the wisdom, the training, the mentorship. But, dear friends, here we are going to talk about, if at all we are serious enough about making certain radical changes in our life, if at all we want to revolutionize our life, if at all we want to change our life altogether, there are 12 things which have been listed here. All of these are very, very important indeed. Some of these we are already doing, but not up to that extent. We need to rather consolidate that. We need to rather improve that. And if at all we are not doing another many of the things listed here in this talk, I think we need to understand it well. We need to start practicing it well. We need to rather internalize it, that so that we could become a totally different person, so that we could start practicing, we could start implementing, and we could start internalizing all of those 12 things, so that our life does changes altogether. We become a new person, and a new revolutionary person, having really a big mindset, and having the big successes waiting for us. Let's now look upon those 12 items one by one. First of all, it is the first thing is embracing change. We need to embrace the change. First of all, we need to develop a mindset. We need to start thinking that I should be ready to welcome the change. I don't have to resist the change at all, because the change is invincible. The change is inevitable, and the only thing which is permanent here in this world, that is change. The change is unstoppable. If at all someone else is trying to fight the change, they will never be succeed. And if at all, I'm not here talking about the kind of changes happening in the world, in your own society. Rather, I'm going to talk about the kind of changes which does happen in our life. I think that the changes are not bad at all. Simply, obviously, it will be carrying certain new challenges, difficulties, and obstacles. And I think so that if at all we are facing those obstacles, trying to get rid of those hurdles, what does happen in that way? We will be having a kind of exercise and a kind of moral boosting, courage boosting activity and exercise. I think so that it will develop our level of confidence, if at all we are ready to accept the new challenges which are being brought by the change. But we must not forget that along with these difficulties and the trouble and the hurdles which the change has brought, there are definitely certain hidden opportunities as well. So as far these opportunities are concerned, if at all we do pay attention to all of that, I think that we will be able to reap quite a lot of benefits of those opportunities. So let's focus upon the opportunities. Let's start expecting the opportunities, the new opportunities, the new chances in the change. So always be ready to embrace the change. Number two, the second thing is setting clear goals. Setting of the clear goals, goal setting, extremely important. Because if at all we have not yet the set the goal, what does happen? Because we have no direction, nowhere else to move at all. So I think so setting of the goal setting, particularly the clearly setting of the goal, I think it is extremely important. Because in the absence of that, we become a directionless person. We don't have to become a directionless person at all. Rather, we need to set the clear goal so that we exactly know what is the direction of a movement, where I need to go, instead of drifting from here to there and from there to here. I think it is far better that we do have the clear goal, we do have a destination, and we are exactly moving toward our direction and toward our destination. The third thing is prioritizing self, prioritizing rest and recovery. Not only that we need to work for our goals, not only that we have to keep busy with the with embracing the change, rather we need to take the rest as well. We need to replenish ourselves, we need to recharge, we need to recharge ourselves as well. So rest and replenishment, taking the breaks and the intervals, that is very important. I think the Pomodoro technique says that we need to take break of 5 minutes after every 25 minutes of work. But if at all we have worked for 3 to 4 sessions of 25 minutes of work followed by the 5 minutes of rest, in that case we should be taking some 15 to 20 minutes of rest after the 3 working sessions of 25 minutes and 5 minutes rest. So as far the rest is concerned, I think interval breaks are concerned, as for the good time is concerned, that is also very important, and in its importance must not be ignored at all. And now the fourth is keeping a relationship, keeping a realistically positive mindset. Keeping a positive mindset, what is this, by the way? It is the set of attitudes which is called the mindset. And keeping a positive mindset, but not only the positive, a realistically positive mindset, developing, consolidating, establishing, and adopting a realistically positive mindset, not just a positive mindset, but a realistically positive mindset. And now, as for the fifth is concerned, as for the fifth is concerned, it is establishing routines, establishing good routines. How the good routines can be established? I think that we need to keep reforming, need to keep rectifying whatever routine we do have. It actually means that we are slowly and we are stepwise, we are stages wise, we are improving, we are changing our routine, but not at the same time, not at once, because it might not be a sustainable one. It might not be, we might not be able to carry it on. But my dear friend, I think if at all we are doing it, stage wise and gradually, it become quite a sustainable, it can be carried it on. So we need to build the routine, and we need to keep improving the routine with the passage of time. So that was establishing routine and routines. Now the number 6 is staying in touch with the loved one, staying in touch with the loved one. So we need to be in contact with the loved ones, because our loved ones, they are really good, and because we get a kind of affection from these people. We share the affection and the love with these people, and these people share their love and affection with us. So it is really important that if at all we people are doing all that, my dear friends and fellows, I think that we need to stay in touch with the loved ones. Staying in touch with the loved ones, that is really, really, really important. And now the next one is, and that is, that is the seventh is practicing kindness and compassion. If at all we are working and struggling to improve ourselves, to consolidate our position, to establish ourselves, that is really important. But at the same time, we need to be kind hearted, we need to practice the compassion as well. As far the practicing of compassion is concerned, that is really, really important. And we need to practice the compassion, we need to practice the kindness, that is equally important. And then, my dear friend, the eighth is learning to say no. Learning to say no. And what is this? Is it important? Indeed, it is very important, because whatever someone else is demanding from us, whatever someone else is expecting from us, whatever someone else is trying to motivate and to persuade us, I think we should have the ability to say no. We should have the ability to say no. We should have the courage to say no. And that is really important, because unless and until we do have the courage, unless and until we do have the knack of saying no, we are actually a spineless person. We don't need to become. We need to develop ourselves as a firm person, as a strong person, as a strong person, as a courageous, as a brave person, having the ability to resist if at all somebody is trying to manipulate us, if at all somebody is trying to bully us, we should be able to stand in front of them. But since we are not very clear that this person is a bully, this person is a manipulative person, I think in that case, at least we need to say no momentarily, so that we are better able to think and understand whether it is good for me or it is not good for me. But very simple principle is that if at all we are not very clear, we are not very assured, we are not very much convinced from the deep inside, so we should never say yes if we really mean no. Never say yes when you actually mean no. And now, after that, it is the ninth is seeking out mentorship and help along the way. Seeking out mentorship and help along the way. We might not be able to do it alone. We are definitely in need of a coach. We are in need of a mentor. We need to find out who else is my mentor. We rather need to have several people, maybe 4 to 5 people, 2 or 3 people who are wise enough and willing to train us as well. I think those people should be taken as a mentor, as a trainer, and we should be willing to seek help, either paid or unpaid, whatever the situation. And but one thing is very clear, that we need to develop, we need to acquire the mentorship, as it is actually and really very very important. And still the next is that the next is the 10th is the 10th is you know nurturing your passions, old or new. Nurturing your passion. What are these passions? Something we love doing, something which is becoming a kind of obsession. If at all it is not a negative one, if it is a positive one, I think we must be following our passion, old and new, both of these passions, because the passions mean life. If at all we don't have a passion, we cannot lead an exciting and a happy life. I think that to be able to make our life purposeful one, not necessarily we are doing everything else for the sake of money or for the sake of career. Rather, there should be certain things which should be taken as a passion. There are certain passions of mine, of yours, we need to identify, and still then after that we need to keep following and pursuing the old passion as well as the new passion. And now the number 11 is, that is, practice patience. Patience patience and patience. Patience is extremely important, because if a person is very much impatient, I think they will be doing something bad so often, and later on the person will be regretting and repenting. I think that what we need to do is that we need to develop the patience. We need to develop the patience and develop the patience. Patience is very very important, very much important indeed, because unless and until we are a patient person, I think quite often we will be doing a thing later on, we might have to regret for it. So if at all we don't want to regret for the thing, if at all we don't want to do the bad things frequently, if at all we don't want to get provoked here and there, I think that is then we need to learn the patience. Patience is very very important, maybe one of the most important thing. Patience is a virtue. Patience is one of the biggest virtues. And now the 12th and the last is staying open minded for learning and growing. Staying open minded. open mindedness, very very important indeed. The reason is that unless and until we are not an open minded we are an open minded person, we cannot learn, we cannot adopt the new thing. As for the new, as for the unfamiliar, apparently not so pleasant, apparently not so right, but indeed they are not bad inside. So we might become a reactionary, we might act like a reactionary person. If at all we are not an open minded person, we might become a biased person, a prejudiced person, and we might put ourselves in the favor of one against the other. I think that is not good for us. We need to think in an unbiased manner. We need to be willing to accept the new thing. And new thing, only a person who is unbiased, a person who is open minded, I think only they people can do all that. Otherwise it is not possible. It is not possible that we are better able to conceive the new ideas, the better ideas. If we want to keep improving, if at all we want to keep learning, if at all we want to keep conceiving, if at all we want to keep receiving new and better ideas for all the time, then at least one thing must be ensured, and that one thing is, my dear friends and fellows, we must be open minded person. Thank you.